From leading crucial international development projects to advocating for sustainable practices, Henriette Geiger, the EU ambassador to Kenya, has a story that goes beyond her diplomatic portfolio. Tonight, we dive into the world of a woman who balances high-tech diplomacy with a vibrant personal life. How different is the EU-Kenya agreement?
It's as any other agreement.
Yeah.
If you don't implement it, it stays paper. It is an opportunity, an immense opportunity for Kenya, and it's up to us to make it work. We are building a strategic partnership with Kenya now. So I think the relations between the EU and Kenya have never been better. So we came from a history of doing mainly development here in Kenya. But Kenya has moved on, and we have moved on, and we now have a very broad partnership of equals. And Kenya is doing more and more, both in the region and internationally.
How do you balance family and work? Because I understand you're a mother of two.
So women always have to balance career and job. And I had the luck that I had a supportive husband. Not every husband is supportive, and also some husbands, they get jealous if the woman is becoming successful.
Join us as we explore her journey, discuss EU-Kenya relations and why she thinks Kenya's won a lottery, and uncover the lighter side of Ambassador Geiger. Welcome to Globe Traktion. My name is Persil Telewa. Enjoy her story. Nice having you on the show.
Great to be here with
I know
you.
how busy you are, so I really appreciate that you got a little bit of time to sneak out and have this conversation with me.
Sure.
How do you find Nairobi so far? Because it's close to 3 years since you came officially.
Almost
as the
3
ambassador.
years.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every moment, every day. I mean, it's Nairobi is such a thriving environment, so much happening here, but also the whole country. And to discover Kenya has been great. I have been here many times before in previous positions, but never lived here.
Yes.
So I'm really trying to see all 47 counties. I'm a bit more than half.
So far?
So far,
yes.
so far. So I still need like 40%, but I hope that by the time I leave, I've seen all.
When are you likely to leave?
I don't know. My due date for change is next summer, if nothing else happens.
Yes, if there are no changes, that is.
Yeah, so normally it's 4 years, a diplomatic term.
How do you find the Kenyan cuisine, and which is your favorite?
You know, I'm just fascinated about the variety of fruits and vegetables you have here.
Amazing.
I have in my own compound, I have an avocado tree, and the avocados I get there, sometimes one avocado, it's so big, that's all I need for dinner. And the most delicious, the most delicious avocado.
The most organic.
The mangoes, I have my own chicken, so I get my own eggs. I had radishes grown in my kitchen garden. They were big like an apple. I mean, I sent it home to people in Europe, they couldn't believe it. They said that also one of the radishes makes a whole salad. So it's amazing. I have strawberries also in my garden.
Oh, you're quite a farmer. Nice kitchen garden.
Kenya is incredible in terms of fertility of the land. Whatever you put in the ground is just growing. So I can't get enough of that. It's really amazing.
You can't get enough. Have you gone on safari, by the way?
Oh, sure.
Oh, you can't miss that. What about our beaches?
Also, I mean, some of the best beaches on the entire planet. So these are great shots if you want to make your friends and family envious.
Yes.
Me on the beach, or
Yes.
here, there, the white sand, the palm trees, the incredible water.
Yes.
But this is also a huge asset that Kenyans need to learn to understand what they have, the asset they have, and protect it. As I said, we just had a press conference.
Yes.
Tourism and hospitality sector is the sector that provided most new jobs in Kenya. So this is a sector for the future. So also for young people to study in the hospitality industry. Also the cruise sector is growing so much.
Rapidly, yeah.
Yeah, and to get jobs on cruise liners is just great to discover the world.
How can we integrate blue economy and the tourism sector from your side?
Yeah. So blue economy is about looking at all aspects of blue.
Yes.
Whatever has to do with water, and tourism is a big part of it.
Absolutely.
But no tourists like to be on a dirty beach, seeing dilapidated cities or villages around, seeing people who are poor, who don't have a livelihood, seeing that the environment is not protected, and tourists want to be safe.
Yes.
So it is all integrated, and you cannot have tourism only in a big hotel and the rest you don't care about. So that's why with our Go Blue project, we have tried to work with all governors and county governments and the municipalities to have that sort of integrated thinking.
Yes.
Creating jobs, for example, mangrove projects, which creates livelihoods for women, young people. So many people, when they think blue, they think fish. But fish is only a small
just a small
part
fraction, yeah. Well, besides the mangrove, what else are you looking forward to do, you know, while you talk about going blue? What particular specific activities are you looking to focus on?
I mean, sustainable fisheries.
Yes.
So right now for this Blue Invest conference, we also have our Director General from Brussels coming in charge of maritime issues and fisheries.
Great.
So with the CS Blue Economy, we are looking at maybe having a fisheries agreement between the EU and Kenya, which will help Kenya also on the issue of illegal fishing and controlling of its own territorial waters. So obviously the fish exports into the EU is big business.
Yes.
The EU is the biggest fish importer in the world, and so Kenya has endless opportunities in that sector, but also the tourism and hospitality sector is incredible. And what CS was mentioning, 90% of global trade is through the Indian Ocean. So that means that the EU also has big shipping industries. So especially the Danish shipping industry, but also others.
Yes.
So we are working on air freight to sea freight. And that is strengthening also the port of Mombasa. It's helping climate change. So this is what I was talking about, seeing things in an integrated way.
Yes.
And above all, we want to try to get investment into that sector. That's why in Diani at this Blue Invest conference, we're trying to help young people pitch their business ideas and the small businesses, and bring investors there who can listen and try to make deals there. Because you will never be able to do enough with grants. It's impossible.
It's never
so
enough.
you need investment. You need to bring a stone to roll in terms of creating a positive dynamic. And Kenya is so fortunate to have this incredible coastline.
Well, I saw you did an agreement between Kenya and the European Union on trade. How far is it gone right now?
On what?
On trade, the partnership on trade.
Our economic partnership agreement.
Yes.
It's signed.
What does it consist of?
It's consisting of duty-free access to the European market, which is the largest and most prosperous market in the world. So for Kenya, it's a huge opportunity because you have that for an indefinite time. So all doors are open of all the 27 member states of the EU. So you can freely import whatever you want without paying any duty. And now we're working with the government to try to get Kenya ready for it, building value chains. Because I was saying continuously that just exporting coffee or tea or flowers without adding value, you will never be able to take good advantage of the partnership agreement. You have to add value to your product and also go beyond agriculture. So too much focus still on traditional agricultural products, which are not giving you the profit you need. The EU is importing here machinery, high-end products, where you have a completely different margin. So Kenya has to think about products that are having big margins that it can export to the EU to
Are there any terms and conditions, on what particular goods or commodity are to be exported to the EU?
There are no limitations.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, that's amazing.
And also, this economic partnership agreement has special provisions, so the Kenyan market is protected for many years.
Yes.
So let's say the free access to the EU can only come into effect after many years. So you have immediate access to ours, but ours do not have free access to yours.
Oh, I see.
To make sure that you're not damaged, that your local economy can thrive and develop, and you have ample time to adjust.
But then we've seen in the previous past, we've had lots of agreements signed. This is not the first agreement, perhaps, when it comes to signing of agreements with different bodies and actors.
Yeah.
How different is the EU-Kenya agreement?
It's as any other agreement.
Yeah.
If you don't implement it, it stays paper. It is an opportunity, an immense opportunity for Kenya, and it's up to us to make it work. Actually, many sectors have already worked with us for years to try to get ready for it. So I think it's a joint responsibility, but if Kenya plays this card well, you have won the lottery.
If Kenya plays this card well, we've won the lottery. That is nice remark coming from you. Let's speak about climate change from where you sit. Are you looking at what's going on across the globe? Yesterday we were talking about fires all across the US, and we've experienced floods and, all sorts of disasters, to be fair. What is it that you're focusing on as the European Union to ensure, climate change is fully taken care of?
The EU is one of the biggest supporters to the international effort to fight climate change. But sadly, it's very late. So the world right now is striving to limit the temperature increase to 1.5. So this is our biggest goal, but 1.5 temperature increase is already a big disaster. So what we're doing now is to try to ensure it's not even getting a bigger disaster.
Yeah.
So I cannot tell you how concerned I am. The EU is throwing its weight behind, but as I said, it's a last-ditch effort. We have woken up far too late as global community. And I think the different conflicts we have now and the geopolitical environment sadly is distracting the attention from our most pressing global issues such as climate change. Yeah. So I just hope and pray that we as global community take our responsibility serious, because we are speaking about blue, we are all sitting in this boat and there's a hole in the boat.
True.
And we will all go under if we don't work together. Yeah. And you talked about fires in the US. I just heard the news about the hundreds of people who died in Mecca on the Hajj due to incredible temperatures. So maybe the Hajj even has to be changed in the date, or I don't know what, because this will get worse and worse. The floods here, followed by drought, by floods. You have huge disasters now also in Europe, in areas where you have never seen a problem
ever happened before.
Yeah.
So do you feel, from a personal perspective, Madam Ambassador, that sometimes we get into these boardrooms and we speak too much and we just don't implement, the actual action plan?
Yes. So it's all easy for us to sit at conferences and, even at the personal level, we all know that we say, tomorrow I will stop smoking, or I will stop this or that, or I will start exercising, and you fully believe it. But then tomorrow some other challenge comes and you don't do it. And the same at the global level. So we all have the best of intentions, and then something comes into our way. And so I think it's true, we have held too many conferences with too little output. But you cannot do without a global resolve. So it's needed to have this global consensus building. Yeah. But I think there are things that have to happen also with the big corporations, with the way we do global trade. Yes. We are still shipping butter from Australia to Ireland and from Ireland to Australia. Completely useless. Yes. Completely unnecessary. So if you would add the real price of the energy and the climate damage to that pound of butter, it will become completely unsustainable and unmarketable. So I do think we need to rethink the way our global trading system is set up, because one thing is for sure, if we want to survive as a globe, we have to do radical changes in the way we live, the way we dress, the way we eat, the way we do business. I'm not sure we are ready for it, because we are all in our little corner and trying to survive the best we can.
I know it's a little bit of, a difficult balance, but then it's worrying that every day we don't have as much time, and we need to take action, and these actions sometimes just take longer. But anyway, let's hope for the best, even as, we experience the worst. But what other activities are going on within your office, or what is it that you're looking forward to do in the future? Yeah.
So we just talked about the economic partnership agreement. Yes. So this is something we have been working on for years, and I'm so happy that we're at the finishing line now. Yes. We crossed the finishing line, but we are building a strategic partnership with Kenya now. So I think the relations between the EU and Kenya have never been better. So we came from a history of being doing mainly development here in Kenya.
Yeah.
But Kenya has moved on, and we have moved on, and we now have a very broad partnership of equals. And Kenya is doing more and more, both in the region and internationally, and in the global space. So we are engaging with Kenya virtually on everything, even on space. So there's hardly any area that we are not working with. Our big areas of focus in the development space is on digitalization and green transition. Both are huge game changers for Kenya, and the Kenyan government is fully engaged on this. So we hope that with our engagement in the digital space, we will help to completely digitalize Kenya, and the same with greening. So this is an ambition of the EU. So we are converting the EU into a fully digitalized space and a fully green space. And we are very happy that Kenya has the same ambition. So we are hoping to partner and exchange best practices and help each other to get where we want to go. And we are also working on governance. So we have the biggest justice sector reform program in all of Africa here in Kenya. So we work with all justice actors, 70 million euros, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
To try to make the justice sector accessible to all and corruption free.
Now, when you spoke about digitalization, are you focusing on a particular, sector, or what is it particularly?
Across the board. So we are helping the government to digitalize. And what is very important is that when you digitalize, you have to make sure that you do not exclude new groups. Those that have no access to the internet, don't have a smartphone, they still will have to be able to access government services. You cannot go 100% without ensuring that 100% of the population has access to the digital tools. Otherwise, you create new exclusion zones. We are also very much aware of cybersecurity. And so we are trying to work with the government to enhance cybersecurity here, to have protection of personal data. And this is not only about hacking, but it's also about data mining. So there's a growing trade in personal data. So to make sure that Kenya also has adequate rules to protect the personal data from being sold and mined and exploited.
So tell me, Madam Ambassador, as we slowly try to wrap up, what is it that you're so proud, of accomplishing on your career?
One thing that I'm very proud of is that we worked very much in the female empowerment space. So we worked a lot on FGM, trying to empower local activists to help eradicate FGM, which is impeding girls to develop. Thousands of girls every year, not even talking about the pain they have to undergo, but also working on teenage pregnancy, all the things that are still so prevalent. Kenya, I don't know whether you know, is the third highest teenage pregnancy rate in the whole world.
That is sad to hear.
And it wouldn't be so sad if this wouldn't stop girls to live their lives. Normally, as soon as they get pregnant, they have to drop out of school. They cannot develop their career. Basically, things are finished for them. So it's sad that so many girls have to become pregnant against their will because they have no access to education. They don't understand their own bodies, they don't have access to prevention, they don't have access to counseling or medical services. So we have learned that any country that is empowering girls and women can experience up to double-digit GDP growth. So Kenya is not that natural resources rich.
Yeah.
So Kenya needs to invest in its people. And women are 50% of the population. If you don't empower women, you cannot advance. It's as simple as that. So we hope that this is going to happen in the next years, because with your very young population, if you empower the girls now, in 3-4 years you have a radical change.
Yeah. Speak to me about the challenges you faced as a woman successfully pursuing your career, and you're in the political space, so no lie about that. Give me that perspective, and then let's see if we can get this conversation done. Yeah.
I think as a woman, you always have to be double good, work double hard, be much better than any man to be able to get to the top. And I had conversations with women around the world. It's the same everywhere. And Kenyan women also sometimes are so surprised when they hear that not all is rosy for women in the EU.
True.
They are surprised to hear that, for example, German women until a few years ago had to get written permission from their husbands to be able to work outside of the home, or that in other countries women were not allowed to vote.
Wow.
So and that still there are huge pay gaps between women and men in the EU still for the same position. So across the world there are many challenges, but it all starts, I think, with reducing violence against women, have an enabling environment, let the girls go to school. We have seen that the most important thing is to enable girls to finish their school. And I think as a woman, I have seen that all you have to do is believe in yourself. Just don't listen. Don't listen to all those who want to take you down. Just do what you do.
Yeah. How have you balanced family and work? Because I understand you're a mother of 2.
Yeah.
You have a spouse on the other side. Tell me about it and give a word of advice to young girls as you tell me about that.
Yeah. So where there's a will, there's a way. So women always have to balance career and job. And I had the luck that I had a supportive husband. Not every husband is supportive, and also some husbands, they get jealous if the woman is becoming successful. So I think there's no easy solution. Women always have to carry more burden, but I would also say that women are more resilient and they can multitask. So I think we have the tools and we have the capacity to do it. So just believe in yourself and go for it, live your dreams.
Thank you so much for your time. What did you learn from Henriette Geiger's story? I hope you learned something, and especially for those upcoming diplomats. Many thanks for watching the show, and if you have a story you'd like to share with us, please don't hesitate. Write to us through globetraktion@standardmedia.co.ke, or DM us on our social media platforms at Globe Traktion or at KTN News KE. You can also tap that follow button to me on my social media platforms at Persil Telewa on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and YouTube for more behind the scenes and many other amazing stories. But until then, I hope to see you again soon, same time, same place. Bye-bye for now.